we're absolutely delighted to be joined by summer signing Johnny McMurray. Johnny, firstly, welcome to Seaview. On behalf of all the supporters, we're absolutely over the moon. You signed a 3-year deal with Crusaders. You've obviously been in now for 2 weeks. Firstly, how are you settling into the club, and how have you found the first 2 weeks of being here at Seaview?
Yeah, I've settled in pretty well from what I thought I would. Football's a great community, and I think whenever you come into a new team, everybody kind of understands what it's like, and everybody seems to make a big effort with you, and all the lads have been great to be fair. Everybody's kind of put their arms around me and brought me in and made me feel very, very welcome. So yeah, for the first 2 weeks it's been very good, yeah. And
obviously you were in hot demand, obviously, with your contract expiring, but what was it about Crusaders, or maybe go back to what made you sign for the club?
I spoke to a lot of people, and I wanted to make sure that coming up to the age now, I'm only 26, and you kind of want to get somewhere cemented, and you want to kind of be somewhere for a long, long time. And after, I think, the conversation I had with Stephen in the coffee shop, and a few pictures come out and whatever, it kind of blows up. But yeah, the conversation we had was great, and it wasn't just about football, which I liked. It was kind of just about life and family, and different things came up, and we sat for probably an hour and a half longer than we should have. And it's that sort of connection that you want with people, to come into a place where you feel safe and cared about. So I think that's the main reason behind it all, yeah.
And obviously you've been playing in the Irish League since 2011. Started obviously at Cliftonville, making 21 appearances before a spell then at Warren Point and Loan, where you made 15 appearances, scoring 6 goals. You then got to move to Ballymena. You spent 3 seasons there with 98 appearances and 32 goals for the clubs, 1 league cup medal obviously, before you made the trip to Larne, in which you signed there in January 2019. So a well-established pedigree in the league obviously, but still only 26 years of age, you said. How excited are you now to put on the red and black shirt of Crusaders? And I think when we go through all that stats and we look back to your career, everybody probably thinks that you're in your 30s, but
30s.
Only a
kind of looked like I'm probably in my 30s now. Had a hard paper round, I think, if people probably say. But yeah, I still feel like I've got the buzz for it. Like, as I say, I'm only 26, and you kind of feel like you haven't really got started, you know. Like, you come in, you've played a few games, different places, and it's been great everywhere I've been. It's been brilliant with me, and unfortunately enough, I just had to move on, and I'm excited for the next chapter, and obviously I plan on scoring more goals to go along with the rest of them. So yeah, I'm very excited, yeah.
And obviously here at Crusaders there's a reign of talent in the forward areas. You know, you talk about Jordan Owens and what he's done for the club. We brought in Adam Leckie, you know, last year with Paul Heatley, Ross Clark, new signings, Brandon Doyle and Johnny Fraser. Lots of creative players. What do you think you can add, and along with those players, what is your game and what are you hoping to achieve in that forward area?
I think with just being more direct suits my sort of play. I think at the time of Ballymena it was probably the most that people probably seen out of me, and how direct you can be and running them behind and using your pace and strength, different things like that. And I think that this club kind of fits me a lot more than other clubs would. You know, obviously maybe playing in Lauren's team, you had to be a bit more patient and stuff, and they pass the ball around, and sometimes it's for you and sometimes it isn't, unfortunately. And it can be quite frustrating, but hopefully this is what's going to suit me a wee bit more, and hopefully that'll allow me to score plenty more goals.
And we obviously seen glimpses, in particularly, you know, at Seaview and down at Larne, of what you can do. I think in the games, when I think back to the league games, when you come on, you made a massive difference to the Larne team against us. Obviously you've had your injury kind of worries, and you're hoping to put them behind you. I know you suffered a serious injury against Linfield at that stage. You come back, that sort of meant that you only played, I think it was only 7 starts last year for Larne. Are you hoping now, I know you're suffering from a wee niggle today that's going to keep you out hopefully just for this week, but in terms of that injury, are you hoping to put all that behind you now and start fresh at Seaview and start showing the whole league what you're capable of doing?
Yeah, I think obviously the circumstances it came in was a bit shocked, you know, when obviously you have to sit out for 9 months and then you have to kind of claw your way back, and it was tough, to be fair, but these things are all in the past, you know what I mean? And I'm not the type of person that kind of looks back and be like, oh well, I had a bad injury and all that. I wanted to play last year, and I made myself fit and available enough to play, and obviously with the situation I was in with Lauren at the time, it just wasn't up to me, and obviously I just didn't get the game time that I wanted. But I think when I did play, I did score enough goals, and that's really what I'm all about, and that's what I want to do. So injuries don't really mean much to me. Obviously if it happens, it happens, but I don't really plan on letting it hold me back, and the only way I really see me going forward here. So
what got you through that 9-month spell? It's a long period of time to be out, obviously mentally as well as anything else, but what got you through those 9 months?
Yeah, do you know what? I had a lot of good people around me at the time. A lot of, like, my missus came back from Dubai and stuff. She was out there teaching, and obviously I had my mum and dad brother and sister, and I had a load of players that kind of wanted to get me back too and spent a lot of time with me. So yeah, it was made a lot easier than I thought, but obviously it came during a pandemic where I couldn't really use the equipment that I needed, and obviously go by certain timelines when you expect to be back, and certain things that you can do at certain times. Obviously I couldn't, because I couldn't use a gym or get out the house, do you know what I mean? But it's to say that it's all in the past now, and it kind of shaped me, and I think it made me mentally stronger and ready to know that you can kind of battle through things at different stages of your life that are going to be potentially tougher. So it is what it is, and obviously I've just moved on from it, and I'm back and ready to go.
And you've obviously played against Crusaders numerous times over the years, and from the outside looking in, what have you made of the Crusaders, sort of the team and the squad, the club and so forth, and was that a big part of you coming here and signing that 3-year deal?
Yeah, when you kind of look back and you kind of see that they've won plenty of league titles and they've won sort of cups and different things like that over the last couple of years. They've maybe haven't done what they wanted to achieve, but you know that they're very, very close. They're in the round where they want to be, and maybe they just need a couple more adjustments to get there, and hopefully I'm one of them. But yeah, it seems like they're a very strong team to play against, and they're very tough, physical, and I think that's just kind of suits me. I like to kind of mix it as much as I can.
Yes,
and
we've seen that.
Try and hurt people probably as much as I can, but that's just the way football is for me, and I enjoy that side of the game. So hopefully this team kind of fits me more than anybody else.
Absolutely, we hope so. Obviously it's a very competitive league, no more probably than this season, and the transfer market in particular, Johnny, of what's happening in and around the other clubs. But it's going to be a real challenge this year for Crusaders, and for every single club out there. You know, there's a lot of money being spent, there's a lot of transfers being done, but have you any kind of expectations maybe for this season, any personal goals or collectively?
Yeah, everybody, I think you have to go into every season actually, to be honest, with personal goals. Like I want to score goals, and that's what you kind of pride yourself on, and that's what people kind of see me for. If you're not really doing it, then people don't really rate you at the end of the day. So I do have little targets in mind where I do want to score a certain amount of goals by certain times, and obviously I have a tally at the end of the season that I want to achieve as well. But as you say, the league is going to be very difficult with people coming in and how people are kind of equipping themselves, people going full time, and that's just the way football is now, and it's great to see. But as much as people want to go full time, not everybody can, so it leaves a calibre of players that are very good who just don't fit into that sort of scenario with certain teams, and it's just going to allow teams to get stronger as well, even though they're not full time. So to be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll probably be the best season that I'll have played in up to date, and I think that we'll do surprisingly well.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say that we're all very much looking forward to it. Obviously last week, Johnny, I know it was probably 5 or 10 minutes that you got before the niggle in your foot, and hopefully that doesn't take you too long to come back. But obviously we had fans back in the stadium last week, and it'd be nice now for you to get a bit of a bond. The Crusaders family and the Crusaders support here has always been famous in and around other grounds. So maybe if you just got a small message for our supporters who's come out to watch you.
Yeah, it's great to have people back, to be honest. It's not really the same game without them, do you know what I mean? And when you are in certain games like last year and there was nobody around and you kind of maybe needed that wee kick, I know I was at Larne at the time, but you didn't really have that, and that comes from the fans, you know what I mean? When you are needing maybe a wee push at the end, or you get a wee bit of something and they help you through it, it is great. So yeah, I'm excited to have a lot of people back. I know that there is a lot of fans down here and they do fill the stadium out quite well, so as long as it turns to cheers and not boos.
You brought that on yourself.
Probably been booed plenty of times, but you know what, like, it is what it is, and that's football. But I know once I start scoring goals, and that's what people want to see, they'll love me, and hopefully I'll love them too. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we're very glad to have you here at CV, Johnny, and all the very best for this upcoming season, and I'm sure we'll get a good chat with you as that season progresses. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.